Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival Virtual Edition, featuring interactive cooking demonstrations, live and streaming concerts showcasing some of Canada's best Indigenous talent, plus a virtual marketplace, online arts and crafts demonstrations, social distancing powwow, and much more. Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival Virtual Edition, June 1st to 21st. Full schedule and details at summersolsticefestivals.ca.
My name is Aurora Jade, and welcome to Feel the Heartbeat Craft Corner. And today, we're going to be making these cute, adorable little birch bark rattles with our families. Now, believe it or not, I actually didn't use birch bark to make this, but I brought some in to show you what it looks like. And this is birch bark that I got in the wild. And you might see these trees around. And this is what we're going to design our rattles off of. So this is what we're going to make them look like at the end. So all you need for this, I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make it. All you need is a toilet paper roll, and hopefully your family got out in time to buy some. We got just some cardboard in case you don't have a toilet paper roll. And then at the end, I'm going to show you a 5-second rattle challenge and show you how to make a rattle in 5 seconds if you don't have any of this other stuff. So we're going to start with the toilet paper roll. So our first step is to take a pencil, and what we're going to do is draw where we're going to cut. So we want to cut about 1 inch in, and a good way to measure that is to use your finger, and we're going to draw a line just like that. Once we have that, we're going to go all the way on the other side, almost like we're cutting it in half. And again, you can use your finger, and we're going to cut it in just that much. So you'll have 1 on this side and 1 on this side. We want to make sure they're the same length. That way, it's nice and flat when we get further in our rattles. So you're going to go in between these 2 now, and you're going to do another drawing there, and another drawing here. And at the end, it should look like this on your toilet paper roll. So what we need for this one is we're going to need tape, we're going to need scissors, we're going to need 2 colors of paint. We're going to need black and white, and we'll need our paintbrushes, and at the end we're going to need something to put inside the rattle to get that sound. So if you're working on this and you're going to use your scissors, you can get your auntie or your uncle or your mom or your dad to come and help you with this part. And when we cut it, we want to make sure we don't have our fingers in the other side because we want to be careful. So hold it on the outside just like this, and we're going to cut just on those lines that we drew. And at the end, we're going to have 4 pieces, kind of like this. So we've cut it into 4 pieces, or 4 quarters, and our next step is to fold those inside. We're going to be closing it almost like a box. And this is to make sure that nothing comes out of the rattle at the end. So we're closing it, and it should be closed at the end, just like that. Now we can use our tape or our glue to hold it shut. It doesn't matter what type of tape you use. If you have see-through tape, you can use that. If you have packing tape, you can use that. You can even use duct tape if you have to. So now we're going to take our pieces of tape and fold it over where it looks like a box, just to keep it shut. Now, if you want that to stay extra secure, you can take a bigger piece like this and wrap it all the way around, just so it holds it nice and tight. And I might put one last piece, and then I think that this is good enough. Now you don't want to use all of your parents' tape, and you don't have to wrap it all the way around because we're going to paint after that. So now that it's all nice and closed, we're going to flip it around and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we're going to do our finger markings. One there, we're going to go all the way on the opposite side and do another finger mark there. And then again, just like last time, in between those two. Just like last time. Now we want to cut this again before we put our filling in it because it's going to be hard to fill it up and then cut it. So make sure you cut it before you put your filling in. And again, maybe your auntie or your uncle or your mom or dad are helping you, one of your cousins. And you're going to cut it down just like last time. Okay, now we get to the exciting part. You can use a whole bunch of different things for filling. You can use beans, you could use rice, you could use lentils, you could even use pasta to fill it up, and each one has a different sound. I think I'm gonna go with the beans on this one. So you wanna take a little handful of beans, and you don't want to fill it all the way up because then they're not going to have room to move around. You can even put your hand here and test it out. All right, I think I'm going to put a little bit more beans in. That sounds pretty good. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to close it just like you're closing a box. So we're going to fold these ends in. And we're be careful not to knock it over because we don't want the beans to go everywhere. And once we have those folded in, we get back to our tape. You can also use glue or hot glue, but if you're going to use glue to close it up, you want to wait for it to dry a little bit. So we're going to close it up with our tape. And then we're almost getting to the fun part of the painting. Put this around. And it doesn't have to look pretty. You don't have to worry about it because we're going to paint over that. All right, let's see what it sounds like so far. Ooh. All right, now we're getting to the fun part where we're going to make it look like birch bark. And it might look a little hard to paint, but it's actually not too tricky. So we're going to use some white paint. And then we're only going to need a little bit of black paint. We're going to take our paintbrushes, and the first step to making it look like birch bark is to paint the whole thing white. So we're going to paint around the whole thing, and we're just going to paint it white. And this is what it'll look like after it's painted white all the way around. Now we're going to set it there, and we're going to let it dry for a little bit. And then we're going to start doing these cool little black marks to make it look like wood. So you're going to take a smaller brush and you're going to dip it in your black paint, and you're just going to do little lines like that. And you're going to spin it around and keep doing your lines all the way around. Now don't worry if lines look kind of gloopy or if some of them don't look right, because no birch bark tree grows exactly perfectly, so you don't have to worry about that too much. So we're going to do our lines, and we're just going to go all the way around. You can even make some of them squiggly if you want. And if you want to get extra fancy, you could even draw some little spirals to make it look like where the wood grows. So we keep going, and you can keep going until you're happy with how it looks. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that so far. And you can see how it actually does look like birch bark with all the lines on it. So now for our last step, we're going to use the black, and we're going to paint both of the top sides to make it look like it's hollow, kind of like this. So we're going to paint here black, and you can just do a circle like that. Paint around in a circle. And remember, if you're painting, you want to make sure you have newspaper underneath you. And we're going to paint this in the circle. And then we're going to lay it down on its side on the newspaper to dry. So that's the first way to make one of these rattles. If you don't have a toilet paper roll and you need to use something else, you can make a toilet paper roll out of a piece of cardboard, and I'll show you how to do that quickly. You want to cut a square out of your cardboard and you just roll it like that. Try not to fold it, try to be gentle, and just roll it ever so gently so you can make a tube like this. And then we're going to use our tape. And we're just going to tape it together at the very end. Like that. And if you want to be extra safe, you can even glue it too. Or you can use extra pieces of tape. Make sure it's nice and connected. See, I only used one piece there and it ended up opening up, so maybe I need to wrap some all the way around. And this is just to make your own roll in case maybe you guys didn't get out soon enough to stock up on toilet paper. And there you go. You have your own roll that you can make your rattle out of. So I'm going to show you one last way to make this rattle. And I'm going to go through the first steps a little quicker just because, well, you know how to do it from seeing the last one. But this is a way to make your rattle if you don't have any paint, because I know not everyone has paint at home. So I'll show you this way. We're going to take our roll, or you can use the roll that you made yourself, and we're going to do our lines on it, cutting it into 4 pieces, just like the last one. And you can get your family to help you with the scissors. And we're going to cut on those lines. And remember, you want to hold on to the outside. You don't want your fingers on the inside. And we're going to fold it like a box, our 4 pieces. There we go. And this is the way to make it if you don't have paint. So we use our tape. We're going to keep it nice and closed. And you can pat it down if you want it to look a little smoother on the top. And then we do our big piece that goes around to hold it nice and steady. We're going to tap all the tape together. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, just like last time. Our finger mark, go on the other side, and a finger mark, and then go in between those 2, cutting it into 4 quarters. Now, we're going to fill it up. This time, I'm going to fill this one up with rice, just to see how it sounds different. And you can fill it up with anything. You could even use breakfast cereal to fill this up. And I really can't wait until I can see your guys' rattles and hear all the different sounds. Maybe you could even make a whole bunch of rattles, filling them with different things to try to see what all the different sounds sound like. So we're going to fill it up, not too much because we want them to move around. And we're going to fold this in. And close it just like a box. And again, we're going to use our tape or our glue to close it up. All right, now you might be thinking, if I don't have paint at home, how am I going to make this look like birch bark without painting it? Well, if you have a black marker or even a pencil, or maybe you only have black paint, you can still make this work. All you need is a piece of paper, and you put this down on the piece of paper. So find the edge of your rattle and find the edge of your paper, and then we're going to mark it just so we know how wide it is. And let's roll it, because what we're going to do is wrap the paper around the rattle. And we're going to roll it all the way around and then draw a line. So we know that we connect this, and you can use a ruler for this part, or you can try to draw it in a straight line. If we cut that out, we know that that wraps around our rattle perfectly. So let's cut this out. And remember, careful with your fingers while you're cutting. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our pencil and we're going to do the same thing with the lines. And it's easier to draw while it's flat before you tie it to your rattle, because then it's a little harder to draw. So we can draw our lines all the way around. You can draw some long ones. You could draw some short ones. They don't all have to look the same. Then what we're going to do is wrap that around our rattle. Then we can use glue, or if you have clear tape, you can use that at the end. And we're just going to tape it, both the ends together. Just like that. And that is the other way you can get a birch bark rattle. So we have our different ways. I've showed you how to make your own toilet paper roll if you need to. And we have our birch bark rattles that all kind of look like real birch bark. Now we're on to the 5-second rattle challenge. Now, if you don't have any toilet paper rolls, if you don't have paper, if you have a container, this is the 5-second rattle challenge. You can use a container, you can use a pop can, but you want to be careful of the sharp edges on a pop can. You can use a water bottle, you can use anything that has a lid. So, let's see if we can make a rattle in 5 seconds. I'm going to try to find something to put inside of this. I'm going to put in maybe some rice. Are we counting? I got a rattle. And it only took 5 seconds. So if you're making these, and maybe some of your little siblings or your little cousins want to make it, but they're not old enough to use scissors, you can give them a water bottle, maybe one of their baby bottles, and you can fill it full of anything. Rocks, rice, beans, pasta. So those are all the ways to make our rattles. And I hope that your whole family enjoys this. And try to make as many different rattles as you can. Try to find all the new sounds. I hope you had fun. Thank you.
Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival Virtual Edition. Featuring interactive cooking demonstrations, live and streaming concerts showcasing some of Canada's best Indigenous talent. Plus a virtual marketplace, online arts and crafts demonstrations, social distancing powwow, and much more. Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival Virtual Edition. June 1st to 21st. Full schedule and details at summersolsticefestivals.ca.
Kwe kakina, waba big to go na joshina kas, pikwakina gane, midonjaba, mangin doram. Good day, everybody. My name is Stephanie, and I am Algonquin from Pequawkanagan.
Kwaikakana, Sarah DeConti Nadijnakaz, Kitigan Zibi Ndonjaba Nikanakdodam. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah DeConti. I am from Kitigan Zibi and I am part of the Turtle Clan. We are ambassadors for Indigenous experiences, formerly Aboriginal experiences located in the heart of Ottawa. Presently, we are located on site at the Canadian Museum of History, on the shores of the Ottawa River, which is on traditional unceded Algonquin territory. We provide authentic First Nations educational experiences on-site and off-site through traditional and contemporary performances, arts, and displays of our unique culture. Our ambassadors are always ready to share with our guests some of our traditional songs and stories through our guided tours, dance presentations, and interactive workshops, all of which are based to illustrate both the diversity of the Indigenous cultures here in North America and how they have progressed through the ages. Indigenous Experiences has been working with MASC for almost 15 years with our school outreach programs. Some of you may recognize us from any of our productions such as Spirit of the Dance, Sky Woman Falls to the Earth, Nanabush and the Ducks, or The Gift, or any of our interactive workshops such as Dreamcatcher Making, Medicine Wheel Crafting, Feel the Heartbeat, and the Visual Arts Workshops. Today we are going to be sharing with you our Feel the Heartbeat interactive workshop. Traditionally, we would bring these exciting workshops and performances to your school or classroom, or having you join us on site for our summer solstice events. But with our current situation, we have to adjust our programming a bit and the way it is being delivered to accommodate our friends. Nevertheless, we are resilient and have always adapted to change. And this workshop will still be fun and educational. And as always, this interactive workshop will not only lift and enlighten your mood, it will also leave you singing this catchy song for days on end. We hope that you're able to grab your mom or your dad or brothers and sisters to join you in this. You will need your own rattle. We have our homemade rattles right here. The song we are going to share with you today is called Lehandes. By the way, it was originally shared from the Charagi Nation with the Haudenosaunee Nations, and we are going to share it with you. However, with respects to the song, we are going to share with you our contemporary adaptation composed by Indigenous Experiences. So we usually start this workshop talking about good medicine. Now I'm not talking about Tylenol or Benadryl or Buckley's, yuck. I'm talking about the type of good medicine that naturally makes you feel better. Can you give a few examples of some good medicine? I have a few for you. Laughter, when you hear a funny joke. The feeling of love when you receive a hug from your family or friend. I got one more. You know when you have to do something and you don't really want to do it, but you know you have to do it anyway, such as a chore? It could be making your bed, cleaning up your room, cleaning dishes, or folding laundry. Next time, why don't you try doing one of those chores while listening to your favorite song? Try singing and dancing away while you do your chores. That's what I do. Music is a part of our lives in good times and in bad. How we all have a song that makes us happy or a song that always makes us sad. Music has been in our lives for as long as we can remember. And when you look at all the nations here on this earth, we all have a drum and we all have our own styles of music. Everyone on this earth has dances, both traditional and contemporary. Dancing also makes us feel better, so it too can be considered a good medicine. We as Indigenous people believe that music and dance are good medicine, and we also enjoy sharing that good medicine as much as possible. We cannot dance without the songs and music, and a lot of the times the songs and music do have very specific meanings or are done for certain things, like songs and dances to make it rain for the crops, or a song that will be sung when a traditional ceremony is about to begin. And some of these songs are very old, so at times you may see us pay respects at a powwow for our veterans or for the flags. And we do so by standing silently and removing our hats until we are directed otherwise. Nevertheless, the songs are what makes us move, and it is what brings us all together. From time immemorial, our people have danced. We dance for us, we dance for our ancestors, we dance for others and each other, but most importantly, we dance for those that could not or cannot dance. And that is how we will share with you our good medicine with you today. So the first thing I'm going to show you quickly is my bag of instruments. And the first up will be the hand drum. This one I made myself. It is made from ash wood and deer hide. It is your typical hand drum used by our people. We always treat our drums, our rattles, and all of our other sacred items with respect, and we take very good care of them as we see and feel the spirit that they carry within our song and our dances. This is what we call the heartbeat of Mother Earth, and it is to this beat that we dance. The second item I want to show you is our sticks, and they were multi-purpose tools. However, they do make a wonderful sound, and they were widely used by the women in our community. And the third instrument that I would like to show you today is the rattle. The materials used to make these rattles are wood, hand-carved to perfection, buffalo horn or antler, which could be acquired through trade. And the inside, we would traditionally use seeds, corn, or beans to make the rattle noises. This rattle was made by Clayton Longboat. As you can see, all of our instruments are made from natural materials. Everything once grew, it once needed water and sunlight, and their forms change in one way or another. Therefore, we respect the life given for us to use these instruments, and in return, we care for these items as they are our gifts. This is the rattle that I made for today's workshop. I made this rattle using an empty bottle, an old highlighter for the handle, and the inside contains that of bread bag clips, such as these. Now that we have shown you the instruments, it is now time to learn the song we are going to sing. Lehandes, being a Haudenosaunee song and stomp dance, it only seems proper to give you a brief overview of the Haudenosaunee people, preferably known and directly translated to the people of the Longhouse. Another known name, Iroquois, which was a name given to the Haudenosaunee people by the French settlers, and not actually what they refer to themselves as. Now, the Haudenosaunee people were a sedentary nation, which means they never ever moved their homes. They are the first known apartment or condo-style living, meaning a stationary home or dwelling that housed multiple families at one time. When the family would grow in size and numbers, they would just build their home longer. Hence, people of the Longhouse. All the families in one house would be directly blood related and of matrilineal descent, making up the Haudenosaunee clan system. Meaning, boys and girls, you would have lived in a longhouse with all of your family on your mom's side, and all of your aunties, your grandma, all your cousins. This would be called your clan. You could be wolf, bear, deer, eagle. It's sort of like living with all of your cousins, and your clan would be like your last name. The Haudenosaunee people, because they were sedentary, stationary, and they never moved locations, they were able to grow and harvest their own food and crops, such as corn, beans, and squash in their homelands. However, in order to hunt or fish or to get meat, they would have to do some traveling, as there were no cars, boats, or planes. They did most of their traveling by foot. Songs such as Lehandes, the song we are about to teach you, had multiple purposes. This one specifically was for traveling, keeping up hopes and energy, checking in on lost warriors, and used to alert their communities of their return or arrival, so that the women in the community can begin to prepare the fires, foods, and medicines. It was also one of those songs that never end. It keeps going on and on and on again. So my friend Stephanie and I are going to show you a quick sample of the song, and then we are going to break it down for you to sing along with us.
Hamba dimada, hamba haska, hamba dimada, hamba haska, hamba dimada, hamba haska, hamba dimada, hamba haska. Weyane, we hoyane, weyane, we hoyane, hamba dimada, hamba haska, hamba Yo way ne ha, yo way ne ho ya. Yo way ne ho ya, yo way ne ho ya. Hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska.
Now that you've seen us do it, we are going to break each verse down for you guys to sing along with us. Now, there are a few ways we can do this, so I'm going to give you your options and you can figure out which way is the best for you to follow along with.
Option number 1. You are a solo participant. You are doing this workshop by yourself with us today. You are going to follow along with Sarah's part of the song, which is the response. So when I do the call, you're going to respond with Sarah. Option number 2. 2 participants. You are doing this workshop with a partner. You can both follow along as responders with Sarah, or one can learn my part, which is the call. Option number 3, multiple participants, 3 or more. Either one can be the caller and the rest can respond, or you can divide yourselves equally into 2 teams, and one team will be callers and the other team will be the responders. We are now going to take a quick minute and check on our voices, our readiness, and do a little mini vocal warm-up. So in whichever option you choose to do this workshop, I'd like you to play along and learn with us. So to start, when I say hey, you say ho. Hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho, hey, ho. The first verse, call. Hamba gi mada. Hamba gi mada. Hamba gi mada.
And the response to verse number 1 will be hamba haska. Hamba haska. Hamba haska.
Hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska. For the second verse, we are going to say we ya ne, we ya ne. Way ya ne.
And the response to verse number 2 will be way ho ya ne. Way ho ya ne. Way ho ya ne.
Hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska. Wayane, way hayane, wayane, way hayane, hamba gimada. Hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska, hamba gimada, hamba haska. Yo way ne ha, yo way ne ho ya, yo way ne ho ya. The call for the third verse will be yo way ne ha, yo way ne ho ya. Yo way ne ha, yo way ne ho ya. One more time. Yo way ne ha, yo way ne ho ya.
And the response to the third verse is yo way ne ho ya. Yo way ne ho ya. Yo way ne ho ya. Yo way ne ho ya.
Yo way ne ha, yo way ne ho ya.
Yo way ne ho ya. Yo way ne
on each of the verses, we're going to try and sing it all together now using our rattles. We're going to try and follow the beat that I set.
When we do this workshop in the classroom, we usually try to make our rattles sound like one. Let us give it a try. Try some rattle shakes with us. Beautiful.
We'll be doing a straight beat for most of the song, except for the second verse where we switch to a side beat. So when I say, way on it, you'll move your rattle to the side. And so the last thing before we go through the song all together now, we're going to try to sing the song and keep a beat at the same time.
All together now, is everybody ready?
Hamba gimada,
Hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska.
way on it,
Way hayane,
way on it,
way hayane,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska.
yo way ne ha, yo way ne hoya,
Yahweh ne hoya, Yahweh ne hoya,
yo way ne ha, yo way ne hoya,
Yahweh ne hoya, Yahweh ne hoya.
hamba gimada,
Hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska.
way on it,
Way hayane,
way on it,
way hayane,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska.
yo way ne ha, yo way ne hoya,
Yahweh ne hoya, Yahweh ne hoya,
yo way ne ha, yo way ne hoya,
Yahweh ne hoya, Yahweh ne hoya.
hamba gimada,
Hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada,
hamba haska,
hamba gimada.
hamba haska.
Now that we've done this all together in front of a screen, we encourage you to add in the dance portion. Maybe not inside your apartment, but in an appropriate place and in a respectful manner. Also, for families with more than 3 participants, you can try to incorporate movement into your stomp dance by adding in the stomp, respectfully, in a follow the leader fashion. We will demonstrate momentarily. And
We hope that you enjoyed this workshop with us.
Until next time, bon appetit!
Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival Virtual Edition. Featuring interactive cooking demos, live and streaming concerts featuring some of Canada's best Indigenous talent, virtual marketplace, online arts and crafts demonstrations, social distancing powwow, and more. Summer Solstice Indigenous Festival Virtual Edition, June 1st to 21st. More at summersolsticefestivals.ca. Summer Solstice.
What does that mean? Danica, you want to give us a thumbs up if we proceed, or? I don't know. I'm just gonna. I don't know what's going on.